Is living in California still worth it? Or are the trade-offs starting to outweigh all of the benefits? If you've been thinking about moving to California or even leaving, you've probably noticed something. The conversation has changed. It's no longer, would I like living here? Now it's, is it worth it? Does it make sense financially? Can I build a life here long term? And depending on who you ask, you'll hear completely different answers. So I want to break this down clearly. The real pros and cons of living in California and how to evaluate it based on your actual life. If we haven't met yet, I'm Christine Donovan, 4th generation in real estate, grew up 3rd generation in Newport Beach, and I'm an attorney as well as a broker here in coastal Orange County. I've lived in Costa Mesa for over 30 years and raised my family here. I've also spent time in other states and other countries, and after all of that, this is still where I choose to be, because for me, it fits. Before we get into it, are you thinking about moving to California, or are you already here and trying to decide if it still makes sense? Just let me know in the comments. Now, let's look at how this really plays out. Most videos about California either sell the dream or focus only on the problems. They show you the highlight reel or they focus on the headlines. But they don't really explain what it's like to live here day to day over time. And that's the part that really matters, because this isn't just about cost, weather, or even opportunity. It's about how all of those things come together, what your daily routine feels like, what your long-term decisions look like, and whether this place actually supports that. So that's how I want to approach this. Not just what California looks like, but how it functions. Every place has strengths, and every place has trade-offs. California just happens to have both, very clearly. Number 1 pro, lifestyle and access. Look at what's going on behind me. So let's start with the lifestyle, but not just in general terms. The crashing waves along the coastlines, the cliffs in places like Laguna and Big Sur, the Pacific stretching out in a way that never really looks the same twice, the redwoods in Northern California where you feel small in a way that's hard to describe until you're actually there, the Golden Gate Bridge, San Francisco, fog rolling in over the bay in the morning, palm trees, sunsets over the ocean, that light you only get here in the evenings. The Hollywood sign, Los Angeles, the idea of entertainment and creativity that's exported around the world. Silicon Valley, where companies are built that shape how the world functions. The Central Valley, one of the most productive agricultural regions anywhere in the world. Surf culture, the Beach Boys, that feeling of being near the ocean and living differently because of it. This is not just a state, it's an identity, and there is a reason that people from all over the world come here and stay. What matters is what it feels like to actually live here. Not on a vacation, not a weekend away, a normal Wednesday. You wake up, the weather is mild. You step outside, you're not adjusting to anything. You sit outside without thinking about it. You go for a walk afterwards. That becomes normal. And then there's this. You can be in the beach at the morning and in the mountains that same afternoon. Yes, surf in the morning, drive a couple of hours, and be on the slopes before the day is over. There are places in the world that have mountains and coastline, but very few where you can realistically experience both in the same day. Now, that does not mean it's perfect here. It's more crowded than it used to be, more expensive than it should be, and yes, more divided in some ways. I miss parts of what it was when I was a kid, the orange groves, the strawberry fields, the slower pace. But this is the version that exists now, and that's part of living here now. Pro 2, climate. California's climate, especially along the coast, is one of its greatest advantages. Not because it's dramatic, because it's consistent. You're not dealing with freezing winters, heavy humidity, or months where you're stuck inside, and that changes how you live. In a lot of places, your life is structured around the weather. Here, most days, it just works. You're outside more, you move more. Your routines do not get interrupted every few months, and over time, that consistency compounds. It affects your energy, your mood, your overall lifestyle, not in a dramatic way day to day, but in a very noticeable way over the years, and it's something people often don't fully appreciate until they leave. Pro number 3, economic opportunity. California has one of the most diverse economies in the world. Technology, entertainment, agriculture, aerospace, healthcare, and that creates opportunity, career opportunities, business opportunities, access to capital. It attracts people who are building things, and it also does something else. It attracts high earners, people leading companies, building businesses, creating income at a very high level. And when you concentrate that level of talent and income in one place, you create a very strong economic environment. More activity, more innovation, more movement. And for the right person, that environment can be incredibly productive. It also means you're surrounded by people who are doing things, building, scaling, creating, and that environment can push you. But it also creates pressure. Because when demand increases, competition increases, and when competition increases, pricing follows. That concentration drives demand, and over time, that's part of what drives cost, but it starts with opportunity. Pro number 4, real estate wealth creation. Real estate in California has been one of the primary ways people build long-term wealth here. According to the California Association of Realtors, median home price was around $421,000 in 2012 and $813,000 in 2024. That's nearly double in just over a decade. There are cycles, there are corrections. Here's what that actually looks like. Someone buys a home for $450,000. Over time, that home appreciates. Now it's worth $800,000 or more. That difference becomes equity, leverage, opportunity. That equity can be refinanced, reinvested, used to move up. And over time, that compounds. Now layer in Proposition 13. Your property taxes are based on your purchase price, not the current market value. So as your home increases in value, your tax base remains relatively stable. That's a very different structure than many other states. And under Proposition 19, there are opportunities for certain homeowners, including those over 55, to transfer that tax base under specific conditions. So you have asset appreciation combined with property tax stability. It's powerful. For many people, this is not just where they live, it becomes part of their core financial strategy. California offers a lot, but it comes with trade-offs, so let's look at what those are. The cons of living in California. Con number 1, cost of living, what it takes to stay here. The cost of living in California is high, but more importantly, this is about what it takes to stay here. Once you're in, this is what your life costs on a monthly basis. And while these aren't the only expenses, they're the ones that tend to be higher here and the ones people usually feel the most. Housing, income tax, fuel, and increasingly insurance. And it's not just one category, it's multiple hitting at the same time. So even if you're established here, you feel that pressure consistently, and over time, it affects how you live, spend, and plan. Con number 2, barrier to entry, what it takes to get in. And sometimes people confuse the two because this isn't about monthly cost, it's about access, what it actually takes to get into the market here. Home prices are higher, down payments are larger, and competition is stronger. So even if someone can afford the monthly payment, they may not be able to get into the market in the first place. And that's a very different problem because if you can't get in, you don't benefit from the long-term upside we talked about earlier. And that gap between those who are in and those who are trying to get in tends to widen over time. Con number 3, regulation and business environment. California is a more regulated environment that affects business operations, development, timelines, and ultimately cost. And this is something that has played out over time. There has been movement of both individuals and companies to states with lower taxes and fewer regulatory constraints. You've seen that in the headlines and in some cases, in real decisions being made. At the same time, California continues to attract capital, talent, and innovation. So both things are happening, and for some people, that's exactly why they leave. For others, it's part of the trade-off. Con number 4, lifestyle reality. Time, pressure, and trade-offs. This is the part people don't really anticipate because the lifestyle here is real, but it doesn't show up in the same way for everyone. Traffic becomes part of your routine, not occasionally, consistently. And over time, that affects how your day feels. And then there's what it takes to live here. For a lot of people, that means a higher income just to maintain a normal standard of living. It means higher monthly housing costs, higher taxes coming out of your income, higher fuel and insurance expenses, and less margin. You're not just working to get ahead, you're working to stay in place. And for many people, that means working more, not occasionally, consistently. And over time, that shows up as less time, more pressure. While the lifestyle exists, not everyone experiences it in the same way. And that gap between expectation and reality is where frustration can start. And then there's one more piece to this that doesn't really fit into a pro or a con because California is set up a certain way. financially, economically, and yes, politically. And that political environment does matter. It affects taxes, regulation, business decisions, and how the state is run overall. And depending on your perspective, that's either a positive or a negative. For some people, those policies align with how they think things should work. For others, they don't. And over time, that becomes harder to ignore. Because this isn't something you experience once, it shows up in what you pay, how you operate, and what it takes to build a life here. When you're looking at California, this isn't just about pros and cons. It's about whether that system and everything that comes with it actually works for you. Because if it aligns, you can build a very strong life here. And if it doesn't, it tends to wear on you over time. When people ask, what are the pros and cons of living in California? The answer isn't simple. Because California gives you a lot, but it also asks more from you, more financially, more in how you manage your money day to day, and more in how you plan long term. And over time, you have to decide if those trade-offs are worth it, because everything we talked about, the lifestyle, the access, the opportunity, comes with weight. But at the same time, there's a reason this place is what it is. The coastline, the energy, the industries, the culture. It's still California. And for me, this is home. I was born and raised here. My family has been here for generations. I've seen other places, and I understand the trade-offs, but I've made my decision. And for me, for now, this is still where I choose to live, not because it's perfect, but because it fits. And if you can make it work here, there are very few places, if any, that offer what California does. So when you're evaluating California, the question isn't, is it worth it for everyone? It's, is California worth it for you? So I'm curious, when you think about California right now, what matters more to you? The lifestyle or the cost of actually living here? Let me know in the comments. I do read all of them and respond. And if you're thinking about moving to California or trying to evaluate whether it makes sense long term, I'm always available as a resource. And that doesn't just mean for Orange County. I have a strong network of agents, not just here, but throughout Southern California, across the state, and even nationwide. So whether you're looking here, somewhere else in California, or even considering a move out of state, I can help you connect with the right people. No pressure, just strategy. I'm Christine Donovan, broker and attorney. Clarity first, strategy that sells.